Warning: the following content may contain spoilers for film and television programs. It is also intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Okay. All right. Let's do this.
Wubba lubba dub dub.
Okay. Okay, I can do it. I can do it.
Mike, if you're gonna have a panic attack, you're gonna have to work.
Dude, Andrew, do you know what?
secretary at
Andrew
work.
can do this whole show while suffering a panic attack. So if he can do it, I can do it. And I'm like mildly, slightly drunk right now. So I think I can handle
He's
it.
usually on cocaine.
Okay.
I've actually done the
I've
intro
changed.
before.
I say cocaine now.
Jarrett, do you want to do the intro?
Cocaine. Not really. I'm just saying I've done it before.
Ahoy, all of you flick freaks out there. What is going on?
What is going on?
What is
I
going
have a
on?
mustache and I do cocaine.
Wow, that's some libel. Or is that slander? Which one is it for?
We didn't even say who we were talking about, so no one can see.
Andrew Ormsby.
No, he doesn't
Let's
do cocaine.
probably not insult our hosts.
I'm wearing a
okay.
captain's hat. Cheers, matey.
This person right here, the one who did the poor Andrew impression, is Mike, the Radish Ravinator. Over here, we have Jareth, the wrong half of Hollywood.
No.
And then over here, we have the tallest man in the room, Dan Jones.
That's a fact.
That was right off the dome. I think I did okay on that.
Pretty sure
Well-
last time I was here, it was established I was Dan Damn Jones.
Yeah, that was all right. Throwing back some of that root beer.
It's root beer, Mike. I'm having a root beer.
So you'll all have to bear with us this episode. We are without direction.
Yeah.
We have no script and no Andrew because he is off in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he's in Philly right now, hanging out with that other awesome YouTuber. What's his name?
I believe it's Akasan that he
Yeah,
is
yeah,
hanging
no,
out
that's
with?
it. That's it.
Rockason.
So hanging out with Rakasan, and they're doing something. I don't know what.
Apparently they're doing lots of stuff.
They're doing all kinds of things. So you're stuck with the B team. But there hasn't been a podcast in a while, and even though Andrew was gone, we all wanted to come out and record something. So we got the Jareth and Mike team. We got Dan, who's been on twice, maybe. Once. Definitely.
I'm pretty
We're gonna
mad
sing you
about
a
it.
song.
And a 1
About
and a 2
butts.
and a so I think
Butts.
let's jump right into it. Let's try to just pack as much content into this episode as we can.
So what news do we have?
Well, let's
Did
start-
somebody bother to find news?
yeah, I did actually. But we normally start with the Did You See That Opinion of the Week, which I think we should do on Stranger Things because all three of us have seen that.
Did you see that they're definitely going to make a second season?
I heard that they were going to make a sequel, not a second season.
Yeah, they're making a second season.
But it's not like an anthology. It's just...
Yeah, it'll continue the story.
It's not like True Detective, which they made a huge mistake on.
Well, my point with saying a sequel as opposed to a second season is in a show, whenever you have another season, unless it happens years later, in reality, a second season is like a direct continuation. And I don't think that this would be best served with a direct continuation.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Not like, and then next week another kid goes missing and stuff happens.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably not going to do that.
It's probably going to be more like It, where it's like, and 10 years later.
Yeah.
As long as 11's back, the sheriff's back, and the kid with no teeth is back, I'm tuned in.
Okay, so we're going to try not to do any spoilers. Yeah?
All right.
We're going to try.
Waffles.
Huh? Oh.
Just kidding. There's no waffles in that show.
You've probably everyone has seen Stranger Things, but
If you haven't, definitely do.
yeah.
Not just, we are not the only ones endorsing it. IMDb has it at like 16.
Yeah. It's got pretty great ratings.
It's a rare time when something lives up to the hype and, in my opinion, exceeds it.
yeah.
Yeah.
People wouldn't shut up about it, and I was like, fine, I guess I'll watch it. And it blew my fucking mind. It's kind of rare for me to find something that I can enjoy on the same level as like my girlfriend. She has very different tastes in like movies and TV than I do. And this, like, Stranger Things does a rare thing where it is capable of being very dark and frightening.
Yeah.
Although I would certainly argue it's not scary. Like, you could,
I don't know. Fuck the Demogorgon.
yeah.
I don't want it. That thing was very nope every time it showed up.
Yes. But Dan was telling me about it, and he was like, "This is the type of thing you could show to like a 12-year-old, and they're not going to have any nightmares." And
they might get more
freaked
freaked out than like a 25-year-old man, but
yeah, I think I watched The Ring whenever I was 12, and that frightened me far more than like this would have.
Well, yeah, for a certainty.
yeah, I don't think there's even one well in that show for anything to
I don't
come
think
out
so.
of.
If there is, it's like really far in the background.
Yeah, you're like, is that a well? And then you're like, never mind, I'm just gonna keep watching.
So this is a show that capitalizes, like, there's not a single conversation about this show that does not use the word nostalgia at least 27 times.
Yeah,
It captures its era perfectly.
Yes.
And I wish that I had that level of like perfect like synth just
Oh.
always in my life.
yeah.
the soundtrack is amazing,
Man.
and they're gonna put it out for sale.
Yes.
I would actually buy that soundtrack.
Absolutely.
I actually will buy it.
the,
I don't care about your opinion.
the intro soundtrack, like the intro theme is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And
With
it's
like
so
the
simple.
letters falling into place. and
Yeah.
It
stuff.
takes it takes a lot of inspiration apparently from Stephen King. I get big E.T. and Goonie vibes.
For sure.
There's
And it's
definitely
not-
a Goonies vibe.
And it's not like, let's make this 80s so we can prey on the nostalgia of kids that grew up in the
No.
80s. It really fits everything, and
What
it embodies the best things about those movies.
What it does is it tells a story that is like, oh, here's what it's like to be a kid. So
Yeah.
we could remove all of the references and 80s nostalgia out of it, and you just have a very good sort of coming of age story mixed in with
Kids
some
will just
horror
have
elements.
iPhones instead of walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
and the thing is all of the characters are well written and well acted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the children.
Fucking Lucas.
Especially the children.
At no point are the children too smart or too
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
They're smart kids.
Yeah, they were written like kids.
So they're smart, but they're still fucking kids.
Which is why it reminds me a lot of like Goonies and like Stephen King.
Yeah.
Like It and Dreamcatcher, where like the kids are kids in those stories. They're not too smart. They're kind of bumbling.
Dreamcatcher is a scary movie.
Dreamcatcher is pretty weird. But the thing that makes Stranger Things so profoundly good, and I think especially for probably like 30-somethings or people who actually like lived in the 80s.
Which is weird to think that 30-somethings lived in the 80s. Just
Yeah.
because people who were alive in the 80s are like people born like literally 3 days before me.
Yeah.
Well, really anyone, I guess, who kind of grew up surrounded by the 80s mythos.
Yeah.
It basically couches the coming of age story in nostalgia rather than playing to it, rather than building to moments of profound nostalgia. It's just telling it its
and now
own-
they go to a mall where everybody's hair's all like teased
Yeah.
up and
No, it was actually very legitimately 80s. Like, I thought that Barb, R.I.P. Barb, was...
hey,
It's like episode 2.
no, it's not. It's like
3.
episode like 6.
Whatever. No, it's not. It's like
Yeah,
episode 3 or
it's
4.
like halfway through.
I'm not sure when it took
Whatever.
place.
Anyway,
It's too late.
you
Said it.
see Barb, and it's just like, wow, this is like fucking 1980, whatever year this is set in.
Yeah.
It's like it's like in 40 years they make movies about like the first decade of the 2000s, like what we're dressed like now and what we're into and talking about. They'll make it really ramped up and hyper
Yeah.
sensitive in that movie. People are like, "Whoa, is it really like that?" I felt like with Stranger Things, it was just like that's really what it was
Yeah.
like in the 80s.
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
they didn't squeeze the life out of it.
That was so striking to me because it made me think of like when I was little, my sister's friends would come over, and like that's what they looked like. They looked like Barb.
Yeah,
And they
I
looked
think
like the other kids at that
that's,
school.
You're going to get a free pass with the appearance of people in the 80s.
Yeah.
because they actually looked like that.
There wasn't like a lot of scenes of them at the arcade playing Pac-Man and stuff.
Yeah,
Being like, whoa, this is what we do in this time area.
There's none of that shit.
there was no quintessentially 80s things like, look, it's an Atari.
Yeah.
No, it just...
To me, the only thing that held up that was evident about the 80s was like how unattractive the lead guy roles were. In my opinion, like, what's the guy's name that's dating the girl? I won't say any more about him. Like, he's the popular guy.
I can't
remember his
Steve
character's
H.
name. Yeah. Like, he
Like,
was really
I wanna punch him
unattractive
in
to
his
me.
face.
He had a very punchable face.
So, like,
You
in
know
the
what's
80s,
weird?
like, Kevin Bacon was a heartthrob. And you're like, he's weird looking.
He had a very Kevin Bacon look about him.
Yeah.
And you know what? I liked him from the moment I saw him.
Yeah.
I was just like, I like this guy. And my
Like,
girlfriend...
sexually?
I
or-
grew to like him.
My girlfriend was like, I fucking hate him. Are you kidding me? Every red flag I have is up right now. Like, this dude is a scumbag. And
Is he a scumbag, though?
Actually,
Watch to find
one
out.
of us was right. I will say that.
Like, all of my red flags went off. I'm like, I already hate this guy, but mine was like mostly just like, he's popular.
Yeah.
No, I fucking hate this guy, but I did grow to like him.
Yeah.
As a character, he's enjoyable,
Yeah.
if nothing else.
He had a good character arc.
Yeah, I think it mixes I guess so we have coming of age, we have sort of a government conspiracy, and then we have the horror elements. And these three are mixed in really, really well. And I think we have kind of three primary perspectives to explore those. We have the kids, we have Hopper, and then we have Joyce, who is Will's mom.
Well,
You can always break it
specifically,
up,
we have like one of the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
definitely Mike.
You
is
kind of have
the
like
main kid.
how old do you think his kids were? Like 12?
10, I think.
They're
11,
definitely in the preteen.
You have
area,
you have like preteens, teens, and adults perspectives.
which is an interesting division.
Yeah.
And you can see in the way that all three of those groups are handling the issue.
Yeah.
How different the whole thing is perceived.
Winona Ryder's character, I can't remember her name either.
Joyce.
Okay, Joyce.
It was awesome.
Her oldest son,
Jonathan.
I got like a real like Nightmare on Elm Street era Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
feel.
definitely.
He was a
Definitely?
good character.
Definitely.
Definitely. We just coined a new word.
Sort of just all over the map. Really great choice of music throughout the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask this real quick. Was there anything about it without spoiling that you were let down by or didn't like? Because I struggle to think of anything.
Well, I think I ended up, and it's probably because of the hype, so I don't know how much this matters, but I ended up feeling like the ending didn't do enough for me. Probably the last two episodes weren't terribly satisfying to me. I felt like we could have gone a little further with many things.
It did seem a little bit clipped in the last episode.
Yeah. Like if it had if it had one more episode, I felt like
Because the
I
last
would've been
episode
satisfied.
is extremely busy.
That's true.
And
Maybe
it just
the
kind of like
pacing
wraps everything up real fast.
Maybe the pacing between the last two episodes, it was the eighth and final episode was more heavy, and the seventh episode was too light. Maybe.
But I'd like to stress that like it wasn't a distractingly bad
No.
or even like it wasn't like a bad. Like everything else is like a 9 or a 10, and that one's like an 8 or a 7.
Yeah.
Well, I think like my girlfriend loved the ending. And like really what's wrapped up by the end is like sort of the central plot threads, but many things are left to question.
Yeah.
There's a lot to discuss. And it'll make a very satisfying spoiler cast. I hope
There's
that it is
definitely a
going to be.
lot to it that leaves you with what the fuck.
Yeah. I have like 3 pretty big questions and thus 3 big theories, and that's further to the benefit of the show. The sort of big discussion that's going on is that everyone, now that everyone's done watching it, or a lot of people, there's a lot to talk about now.
I think
it's like Lost.
They clearly set up the last 10 minutes of the last episode.
It's
to
like
be
Lost, but you can understand it.
Yeah,
yeah.
They clearly set up the last 10 minutes of the last episode for like if for some weird reason there wasn't a second season, people would be talking about like, oh, I bet this was, people would have their own theories, but obviously there's going to be a second season so they can,
Yeah.
untie those strings at the end and continue.
To that, I will say, if something is on Netflix, if there's a Netflix original series of some kind, it has a season 2, period.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say too. I read that people are like, dude, every Netflix show has at least 2 seasons. I was like,
that is how their contracts work. They sign for, I think it's at least 2 seasons is what their contracts are.
Unless they specifically want 1 season.
Yeah, I think Arrested Development's the only one I can think of that has only 1 season.
People just not like
it was
that.
supposed to get a movie afterwards, and that hasn't happened.
I'm talking about on Netflix, though.
Yeah,
there was a
'cause
lot of
Netflix
hype
was
about
supposed
that.
to pick it up.
There's a lot of
do
hype
the
about
next
that new
season and make a movie. They just never made a movie.
I see. But yeah, so I think
Watch
we
it.
can all agree that our opinion is fucking watch that shit like now.
Yeah.
One of the best TV shows you will watch at the very least this year,
Yeah.
if not ever at all.
Yeah. I think it's...
It's definitely in the top 15 TV shows I've ever watched, I would say.
I think that this show, had it come out earlier, would have won our brackets this year.
Yes.
Easily.
It'll be pretty scary to see how that does with next year's brackets. So I think in like the Netflix original series sort of roster of
Genre.
shows, this has got to be among the top with like Orange is the New Black and like what are the other ones that are like original series?
Daredevil, Jessica Jones.
Yes. I mean, it definitely beats those.
What's that
Oh, yeah.
one? House of Cards. Don't
House of
people love
Cards, yeah,
that?
that's
Never
another one.
Seen that, but
Yeah.
I think Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt is also...
Yeah, I don't know if
Netflix.
that's kind of in the top tier.
Oh, I just know it's Netflix. That's all.
Anyway, yeah, so pretty much everyone's going to be talking about Stranger Things, and if you want to be part of that conversation, you need to fucking watch it.
Yeah. It's a quick watch. You can binge watch it in 9 hours.
it's only 8
Give or take.
episodes. I think, is the first episode longer than an hour?
I don't think
No.
so.
Okay. It felt long to me, but
No, they were all about 56 minutes long, I think.
yeah.
It's an easy watch. It's an enjoyable watch, and I hope you like it.
So,
All right, let's go home, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
let's just wrap it.
This was the Stranger Things podcast.
Just leave it recording. You hear like us receding in the door
Hey, all
close.
you strange kid freaks out there.
Well, let me pop over to some news, I guess. Let's see here. What Andrew typically does is he goes to Rotten Tomatoes and he just like looks at, well, what's trending? Like what's in their like top news articles.
Does he? Is that how he does it?
Yes, that's how
Jared
he does
Leto had a cheeseburger today.
it. Yeah, we can talk about how Suicide Squad has a 23%.
It's
on
gone
Rotten
down
Tomatoes.
again?
Yeah.
It's gone down since last night.
Has a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's
You will
gone
notice
down by 6% every day.
if you go to IMDb, it has like a 7.2,
7.3, I think.
something like that.
Yeah.
So
IMDb doesn't hate it. They think it's all right.
Like exactly all right if it's at 7.
the IMDb users, a 7 is actually pretty good.
Is it for IMDb?
For IMDb, that's pretty
Okay.
good.
Because I know for a lot of reviewers, like 7 is where they'll start.
Well, IMDb's metric is users. So you have a really interesting spread of opinions there. Rotten Tomatoes is, of course, a critic aggregate, so it's just a binary. How many critics gave it a positive review? How many didn't?
Gotcha.
And we may never know what a fair rating of it would have been on there because apparently people petitioned and got pissed that it got bad reviews, and then people started. I think there were people being like, "I'm going to go give it a bad vote because fuck those people that petitioned."
and then there's a lot of people who would vote well simply because they like DC.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I'm
an
surprised. I'm surprised at the Metacritic rating for it.
Metacritic rating being 51, I think.
Yeah. I expect it to probably be like 70s somewhere.
It seems to make sense between Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. And I like personally, I feel like Metacritic is like the one to really look at.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that means there's about a 50% chance that you will like the movie. So yeah,
I'm going to go see it tomorrow.
Well, tell us how it is.
I will. I'll come back in time.
I think I will also try and see it tomorrow.
So
I think Will Smith was a weird casting choice with all those other lead actors in it.
Yeah.
Seemed like a lot of more like unknown or more low key actors, and it's like, I'm Will Smith, and I'm like, whoa.
He was a
you're
pretty huge get to be
Scientologist.
like just a part in an ensemble.
He seems like a weird choice for me for Deadshot.
Yeah, especially for Deadshot.
I know that from the trailers, like for the most part, he just seems Deadshot-y.
Yeah.
With a few exceptions where he's just Will Smith. Like there's a moment in the trailer where he's trying to psych up the flamethrower guy. I don't know his fucking name.
Yes.
And during that, he's just being a Will Smith character.
Yeah. I predict that he'll go, damn, one time in this movie.
I guarantee it. If it's a movie where damn is allowed to be said.
I think he's going to say the exact lines, welcome to Earth, and he's going to punch an alien and start dragging it.
I don't think I don't know what the conflict is actually in this film.
I think the basic premise is all these people are locked up because they're villains.
No,
And
I got that part.
Like, someone from the U.S. government is like, you know what? Let's use them to go after people that are enemies of America, and if they die, who fucking cares? They're bad guys.
But
But my thought is like, why don't they just go rogue and not fucking do what you say and just start being bad guys
Because
again?
bombs are planted in their brains.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh.
That's how they
see,
work.
that's worked exactly in both Escape from New York and Escape from Los Angeles. You don't do that, then you've got a mad Snake Plissken.
Well,
Who will, spoiler alert, he makes a cameo.
Does he?
that would
No.
be fucking rad. So
He makes sweet love to the
here's
Joker.
some random bullshit. $400 million and counting.
Star Wars?
Secret Life of Pets.
What?
It's getting a sequel, guys. It's
That's
at
how much their
$400 million so far that it's
Is that
it's
animated?
grossed. Yeah.
when did
it's-
it come out?
Let's see. July 8th.
Oh, okay.
Also, it's made $400 million.
Yeah, it's
That's-
I thought
it's
you were
been out.
saying
for a little bit.
The budget for the sequel is going to be $400 million.
No, because it has made it's at 411 million as of what I'm reading now. It's getting a sequel.
Well, I
like,
think
for
animated and animated that goes towards children is always going to do decent.
sure. That's better than decent. That's
No, it is.
excellent
I'm
good.
saying, but you typically don't see an animated kids movie that there's like, oh, it made $7,000.
Yeah, they've kind of got they've got a higher low bar.
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of parents are like, I want to take my kids to the movies, but I don't know what we will
So
see.
basically, this is like, hey, is it like Toy Story but with pets, where like when no one's around, the pets talk to each other and do wacky things?
That's
And wear
exactly
pants
right.
and stuff.
They don't wear pants, but yeah, basically.
They're like, as soon
Wait,
as they leave
so
the
you're saying
house,
they're
we're
naked?
Yeah, they're
Ooh.
animals.
That's disgusting.
That's risque.
They're always naked.
No,
So
your
you guys,
cats don't wear pants.
you guys know Fantastic Beasts and where to find them?
Negative.
The J.K. Rowling sort of set in the
Oh.
Harry Potter universe.
In America, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We already have a sequel for that as well.
Weird.
Let's see.
I have no opinion on that.
I know that
I don't believe you.
the cursed. I think the Cursed Child or something like
That's
that.
the new book. Yeah.
The new book, which is, by the way, a play. So if you're going to pick that up expecting the next Harry Potter novel, it's not that. It's a play. It's pretty different from what you're expecting. Let's see.
Is
So
that
yeah,
from experience for you? Like you went and you were like, I want a Harry Potter book, and then it was a play.
You're like, this is a play. I'd like to return this book, please. And they're like, this is the library. That's fine.
have you guys heard of Papillon?
Like butterfly? Isn't that what that means?
I guess.
Are you saying Papillon?
The 1973 movie Papillon.
Actually, I recall seeing on the Flick Freaks Twitter that Rami Malek is supposed to be in talks to be in Papillon.
Rami Malek and
Also-
Charlie Hunnam are to be in that movie.
We are in America, so it's Papillon.
Papillon.
Yeah, like Papillon 5.
I was going to make
Pretty
that
sure
joke
it's
too.
pronounced pylon, and there's safety mechanisms on the highway.
So Channing Tatum is going to be the mermaid in the gender-swapped Splash.
Wait a second.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Why? Is that what's
Yep.
going to happen from now on? We're going to remake movies and be like, but guess what? It's a girl now.
Yeah, probably. It's Ghostbusters was pretty successful.
Also, it's a merman.
Successful on what frontier? 'Cause I hear
Financially?
it was terrible artistically.
Got a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it made 112 million at the box office.
Okay, guys.
Which is pretty good so far.
I'm kind of interested in this.
I know,
stretch.
me too.
Also, it's merman.
What I also didn't know is there's
Merman.
this has been going on for a while, but there's going to be an Ocean's 11 movie with a female cast: Sandra Bullock, Elizabeth Banks, and Mindy Kaling. That sounds awesome.
Wait, but yeah, okay. No, I
But
got
that's
you.
only 3 women. Where are the other 8?
I don't know. Those are the only ones that we have that I see so far.
They're all going to play themselves, playing themselves, playing themselves. So it
Inception.
So it
Here's what I
multiplies.
guarantee you: Melissa McCarthy will be in that movie.
Sometimes I hate Melissa McCarthy, but then sometimes I really like her. She's like the female Jack Black.
Yeah.
I really like her sometimes, but then other times I'm like, fucking shut
I really want to
up.
see that movie where she's like leading the Girl Scout troop. It's probably terrible, but it makes me laugh.
Yeah,
Whatever it's called.
something business.
Risque
Here's
business.
some dumb video game news, guys. You remember how video games are fucking stupid, and marketing for video games is additionally fucking stupid.
Marketing
and like
for
15
video
years
games
behind.
is terrible, but yeah, go on.
You guys might have heard of this. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided released concept art displaying. So in the Deus Ex universe, there are augmented humans and regular humans.
Yes.
So Mankind Divided, the next Deus Ex game, is sort of set in this the Crucible. It's set like prior to like the first Deus Ex game.
Yeah.
And this
so
is
after
sort of the
kind of augmentation becomes norm.
Yeah.
Have you guys played these games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they good?
Yes.
Yeah, they're really good.
Okay.
So this is supposed to be set like in the crucible of like the augmented person sort of rising to power.
That
basically,
sounds really interesting.
their recent marketing material has featured some concept art displaying like a picket line, like a protest with picket signs that say "Aug Lives Matter." And naturally, there's been a bit of
Pushback
Pushback against that.
kind of a raised eyebrow in response to that.
That's silly.
Manveer Air of BioWare. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that person's name right, but they basically reached out to Andrew Vu on Twitter. Andrew Vu is Andre Vu is the franchise's executive brand director. In response to criticism, he tweeted, "No, you are just trying to prob. These words were thought in our game way before the current events. Unfortunate coincidence for sure." So, guys, they came up with blank lives matter first.
Well, I think he's specifically saying they came up with Aug lives. I don't believe him, and I think I would have preferred him just to be like, we're just like in the context of this game, we're saying that augmented life matters.
Yeah.
Just like in real life, it's good that you're saying that black lives matter.
Yes.
I would be courting that more than I'd be like
Right?
playing.
He's like,
the,
this is just a crazy coincidence.
What's weird in their response has been they've been saying like, well, this is art, and we're just putting our vision up there, and art is a mirror, and we're holding up the mirror, and we're just if you guys see a parallel, well, that's you.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
What's
That's
your
not
problem?
the case.
See, I would have
You are
Since
totally.
it is set on Earth.
Yeah.
It is an Earth that is a couple of decades ahead of us.
Right.
I'd be like, okay, easy. This is drawing influence from a previous successful movement.
Court the controversy. I mean, no news is bad news. So, yeah, Og Lives Matter is drawing on Black Lives Matter and invite that criticism, and now you have a dialogue. Like, whatever.
And then if people are still upset,
Also
be
in
like,
your game,
sorry.
Also in your game, the augmented people win. So, like, whatever.
Yeah, they do kind of win with like the help of like the
With some
Illuminati
asterisks and stuff. I get it, but still.
I want to play these games now.
They're super.
They always
fucking
look
good.
cool, but I'd never met. Well, apparently I'd met you guys, but I didn't.
Is
know
it,
you'd play
I think you can get like the full collector's set from like Steam for pretty cheap.
I would recommend, unless
Gaming.
you are kind of into retro first-person shooters, I would just recommend starting with Human Revolution. It's an excellent fucking game. Whereas like Deus Ex, the first one, is a little difficult to parse unless you are kind of like unless you've played, say, System Shock or something like that.
I have not. I have played BioShock, sir.
The original, which is only a couple of steps ahead of System Shock.
What's that?
He's played the original
Oh.
BioShock.
Yeah.
I played them all.
It's a few
son.
more steps ahead from System Shock 2.
I'll just start with whatever you said
So
when I get my PS
Anyway, cool games.
4.5.
yeah, definitely very cool games. So I don't know.
It's a shame that, as per usual, marketing people are being derps.
Yeah, they suck. I mean, like it shouldn't be like you should be allowed to have you should be allowed to draw from current events and put it in video games or movies. That's fine.
I would say it's not only allowed, it's encouraged
it's
by and large.
it's art with like an asterisk.
Well, even if they're like, yeah, we stole that, and also we hate all black people.
Yeah,
Like
then
that's okay artistically.
Yeah, you can do that.
You may not agree with it, but I think with the context of it being a video game, and that the video game, as far as we know, isn't being like, yeah, black lives don't matter. Like I think it's kind of silly to get mad about it.
taking the weird defensive is
Yeah,
the
that is
biggest
too.
issue.
It's weird to get really mad about it, and it's weirder to be like, this is a coincidence, guys.
Yes,
we totally can.
I think you can if you see that in a video game, that's like a goofy sci-fi game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really call it goofy. But
I just think that it's fine to go like, guys, are you sure that you want to do that? Like,
Yeah, you can have an opinion about it.
yes, that's the thing about art.
And
is
just
like,
be honest in your response. Don't be like, don't cause probs, man.
See,
Yeah.
the easiest out that they had was that it's sci-fi, and by its very nature, sci-fi has been socially commenting since sci-fi has been a thing.
yeah.
It's always been a way to discuss the problems of the day by expanding the tools that we have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Can you just quickly been like, you know how there's the X-Men? And how like no first people are like, we don't want these X-Men, and they're like, maybe these X-Men are all right. It's like that's kind of what we're doing here. It's like, don't worry about it.
Except the X-Men are kind of like nobody's ever like really. The X-Men are all right.
So
They're all right. I say they're all right.
Yeah, but you don't matter.
I say I want a good Gambit in a movie for once.
That's not gonna happen.
well, they're making a Gambit movie, I believe.
Oh, good.
Is that happening?
That's a gamble, if you ask me.
That's
Yeah.
a heck of a Gambit.
That also works.
Yeah. So normally at this
That's
point,
a heck of a crawdad.
normally at this point in the podcast, I think Andrew is like, hey, we have a store and a Patreon. So yeah, we have a store and a Patreon.
Give
We
us
sell
money.
waffles with our faces on
Yeah, there's
them.
like shirts and shit, and then like go to our Patreon.
Dude, he needs to make a waffle maker that has his face when your waffles
That's a
done
really
cooking.
good idea.
I would eat Andrew's waffles. I don't
I would
even
eat
like
his
waffles.
face.
You are already checking out our YouTube channel, so that's probably why
Probably.
he doesn't advertise that on here.
We have a Patreon. and a thingy. Spreadshirt, and then we've got a thing for another thing, but I can't remember the
I'm
name.
thinking
of
about signing up for Patreon and paying whatever it takes to get Andrew to shave his mustache.
There
Just
isn't
you
one.
by yourself.
Yeah.
There isn't an amount.
No,
for
that's
that?
like his thing. That'd be like if enough people buy the next Mario game, Mario will no longer have a mustache. No one would want that.
He'll no longer wear pants.
No one would want that either.
It'd be like if enough people bought the next Mario game, or if they bought this Mario game, there wouldn't be a Mario in the next Mario game.
It would just be Luigi.
Because Mario is himself an icon.
He is himself an icon.
The mustache is part of the icon.
Yes. It's like Hitler, right? It's
Nope.
exactly like Hitler, guys.
Nope.
Right? Isn't it exactly like that?
We are now
Well,
drawing.
we'll tune in next week.
So
I'm coming for your mustache, Andrew.
here at this point is when there's trailer talk, and I didn't show you guys any trailers. I just
Nope.
assume you've watched some recently. I want to talk about one that's
Nope.
real special
Nope.
to me.
You're really.
It's called Triple X.
Oh
Return of Xander Cage.
Oh my god.
Is Xander Cage just the worst fictional name ever?
Featuring, for most of the trailer, a man on snow skis.
Going down a jungle mountain?
Yes. Skiing around trees.
Skiing
over canopies.
off of trees?
Yes.
Wait, is there snow?
Nope.
It is a jungle.
Later, in the same trailer,
A man does a ramp off of the ocean on a motorbike.
If you like,
A motorbike?
it's been
Is
probably
this England 1863.
within 120 seconds. You already have your brains exploded out of your ears because you saw a man skiing through the rainforest.
Off of the rainforest.
And then you see a man on a fucking dirt bike on the fucking sea
he hits a wave.
and goes up the wave.
Is this entire movie just where people do things that they shouldn't be able to do? Like, is he swimming in sand?
Drinking a cup of hot lava.
It kind of felt like I took like a triple epinephrine shot and then did some LSD.
Have you
Yeah.
done those things?
Have you?
No.
Oh, that's a weird example
Right?
to make then.
It was very specific.
Because it was high adrenaline, but like everything was
Nothing
wrong.
made
A lot of
sense.
things were punched. There were some explosions. Some booby ladies. A lot of booby ladies. Vin Diesel showed up, turned around, smiled.
Because he is Xander
He's
Cage.
the guy, right? He's
Yeah,
not,
that's Triple
Ice
X.
Cube is not the guy anymore.
No.
Because
That
he
was
does
Triple X
family
2.
movies.
That was 666X. Exel 6.
Axel 6. Axel Adams.
This
is
one
Triple
should
X.
be 9 X's.
Ansel Adams paints the
X
picture.
cubed.
Ansel Elgort is
Two brothers.
1 cup. 1
And
Vin
then-
Diesel.
You don't want to hear about it here.
And there
But
are some grannies.
sorry, me and Jareth are going in the Rick and Morty stuff.
I
and
want
Mike knows none
to.
of
I
it.
actually want to watch that trailer again because of how fucking off the wall it was.
I haven't seen it, but now I want to see it just to figure out how someone skis through a jungle and rides a dirt bike
Skis
on the
on a
seas,
jungle would be
It
a
made
better way
me
of saying it.
like like on
sort
the
of
tops of the trees.
Yeah,
Well, that makes more
and
sense.
around tree trunks.
Yeah, he did it like off the side of some trees at one. First he like jumped from the top of a mountain and went down the mountain.
Would you say the demographic for this movie is only people that drink lots of Monster Energy drinks?
Well, what I was gonna say is, I think the secret to this movie is that the whole thing has been an advertisement for the new Triple X energy drink, right? And
Drink
like before
this.
all of the characters in this movie do anything badass,
They're gonna drink like triple X juice.
yeah, and they just get like
it's just blood.
max endorphin, adrenaline, and like nos for people,
People
and
know.
they shoot forward so fast.
There is a NOS energy drink.
Oh, that's true.
But
It is
like
NOS for people.
nitrous oxide, like for cars, but for a human.
Like they just shove a tank of NOS up your ass.
and you fucking
press a button.
go so fast
that you can ride
you
on
can
trees.
coast off of like water and shit. Yeah.
Or like kick one dude who is behind you while jumping and punching another dude directly in front of you.
Yeah.
While also kicking a third dude to the right of you.
Yes.
Well, that just sounds like any Jet Li movie ever made.
Or any Fast and Furious sequel past 4.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that a non-Asian did that.
Did you guys see? The what was it called? The Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel.
The Last Witch Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh.
That wasn't good.
That was a good way to fucking want to kill yourself.
See,
yeah.
If you don't have a reason now.
Liz was like,
Diesel's
this
one
looks
of
pretty
those,
good. And I was like, no.
Vin Diesel's one of those actors where I want him to be in good stuff.
Well, he's like
he's
a
not.
super nerd too, so I thought maybe the Last Witch Hunter would be good.
No.
What I think is that he's going to become like the next Ron Perlman. Because Ron Perlman is in either A, awesome fucking roles,
Yeah.
or B, terrible movies, but Ron Perlman's in them, so it's good.
He was in some like medieval movie.
Yeah, with Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage, and I didn't watch it, but I was just
Season
like,
of the Witch.
But Ron Perlman was in it, and like Ron Perlman was cool.
I can only not think constantly, this is Ron Perlman, if he's in Sons of Anarchy or if he's Hellboy. Otherwise, I'm like, what are you doing, Ron Perlman? Get out of that movie. You're too old to act now.
Rude.
Your hair's curly.
I saw also Jack Reacher 2.
Is that
Yeah.
Tom Cruise in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, where
Jack
See the
Reach Around?
first one.
I thought about Jack Reacher,
Jack
but
Reacher.
I thought that like that's a little too courteous a name for him because it means that he's making love to you from behind, and also
He'd probably punch you in the face while
He's got
playing.
the goods.
That's the thing about Jack Reacher is that he only punched everyone.
We saw him use a gun once, but mostly he was inflicting violence with his fists.
What he would do is he would be like he spoke either in one-liners or like really complex series of events, like monologues. Like, what's going to happen in the next 90 seconds is this. That phone is going to ring, and then you're going to be on the ground. And everyone's like, huh, huh.
Or
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah, right.
you came to the wrong party. And you're like, what? And then he starts hitting people.
He talked to people a lot before he hit them.
Yeah, he'd be like,
No, everyone just stands around and listens.
he'd like go up to someone and be like, hey, is your drink almost empty? Pow, pow, pow. And you're like,
Or he'd be like, what's going to happen now is I'm going to flip this table over. It's going to hit you on the temple. You're going to think you're going to pass out, but you don't. And then I'm going to punch you, but I'm going to miss. I don't know why.
Yet.
you're going to get a few good hits in, and then you're going to find out that you haven't even been punching me. It was a scarecrow. I'm behind you with your mom.
I'm made mostly of hay, sir.
It seems weird.
I don't know why that movie's getting a second one.
I never saw the first one, never wanted to.
I do know that it's based on a series of novels.
That doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't. I think
I
they're.
did like.
I believe they're Tom Clancy novels too. I think Jack Reacher is a
Yeah, I
Tom
think
Clancy
you're right.
character, like his first couple of novels.
What was the movie where he keeps dying and coming back to life?
It used
Edge
to
of
be called.
Tomorrow, now it's just Live, Die, Repeat, I think.
Yeah,
Really? I thought that was a tagline for it.
It was originally, now it is the name.
Well, whatever you want to call it, I actually enjoyed
that was a really good movie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I can go for
Did
some
me and
Tom
you go
Cruise.
see that?
Yeah, we all three went and saw it.
Okay. It was
We were
good.
all three together at the movie theater
But
watching it
separately,
simultaneously.
Like it was a coincidence. We all showed up and sat by each other. Anyway, that was good. I tried to convince my wife it was good, and she was like, I just can't believe that it could be good.
It is.
I was like, it was pretty good. Like, it's not going to change your life. But
No.
It was enjoyable.
I can actually go in for some Tom Cruise. I don't like him, but I like seeing him act. He's good.
I only care for his religion.
Yeah. I just want to hear him talk about Scientology more.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little more. He doesn't talk about it enough, I think.
Space God.
So Yeah.
Now what would Andrew do?
Well, trailer talk and then IMDb idiots. We blasted through that shit though.
We did.
Because
So,
we didn't
like-
actually have trailers.
No, we didn't.
Have you guys discussed the movie
you're fucking-
Colonia?
Haven't seen it.
Fuck is that?
It's got some people in it.
Okay.
Cool. Off to a great start.
It's got Emma Watson in it. It's
Okay.
got a guy
Wait,
that
that's
I
the
thought
one where she goes into the cult thing,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
it's got a guy who I thought was the actor Patrick Fugit, but is not him.
Great continuation from the solid start.
Yeah, I don't know what the guy's name is, but anyway, you guys haven't seen it, so we should probably move on.
Yeah.
I don't recommend seeing it. Also,
All right.
it's on Netflix.
Normally I'm in when it's an Emma Watson movie. I like Emma Watson.
So
She did all right in it.
I have been playing a game called RimWorld, which is really, really good.
Is it a world where it's always rim jobs
I don't know.
while rim shots happen?
No, it's not.
Why don't we have a soundboard for that?
What would that sound be, Jareth? Tell me.
That would be the time for a rim shot. But don't.
Yeah, but okay. Only one of those things was a rim shot, and I want to hear the first one you said. Come on.
Boom.
Uh,
I don't have all that I need in front of me to make that noise.
All right, Dan. Let's
You
get over
can't
there.
see this, but usually, and this is weird, Jareth usually brings just a snare drum and a cymbal,
And he's
to
always
do
waiting
them.
to use it.
And it never come up. And a few weeks ago, he's like, you know what, Dan? It's just cumbersome to bring that to every podcast. And I was like, what podcast? He's like, the one that I do that you're never on. I was like, oh. And so he's like, I'm not going to bring it anymore. And I was like, I don't know.
And
he
you were
was
like,
I was like, it's your life.
and you're
here
like,
he
also,
is.
why are
He's
you in my
weeping.
house?
Yeah. Also,
I'm trying to
why are you
sleep.
here? Where's my wife? Why are you wearing her nightgown?
Okay, so RimWorld.
RimWorld's really good. It is.
I thought you at work. I thought you said it was GrimWorld, and
No.
I thought that for like 3 days.
That'd be a cool name.
It is.
It's called RimWorld because it's set in kind of this sci-fi mythos of there's like worlds that exist on the rim of civilization, and this is one of them.
So kind of like a Borderlands planet.
Yeah. So
Ba-dum-bum.
you basically will play as survivors or tribes people of some kind who live on a planet, and there is building mechanics. You make a base of some kind, a place to live in, so that your people can sleep. You want to get some food supplies. It kind of combines, I would say, a lot of the survival mechanics from a lot of indies recently. With I struggle to think of a better example than The Sims, but that does it. Imagine The Sims in a post-apocalyptic survival scenario, where
So it's a resource management strategy game with survival elements, sort of like Sheltered. Or,
it's not survival elements. It's a survival game.
yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. The mechanics, not elements.
Yeah. The combat system is very enjoyable in the game. It's very simple. Injuries are scary. Anytime anyone gets injured, you really need to fucking pay attention to
What
that.
about like splinters? Are they scary?
I don't think I've ever had anyone get a splinter, but
Then you must have really good
I have-
lacquer on all your wood.
definitely had a character that I really liked, who was my doctor, fix several people after a raid. He was by himself. The only thing that had happened to him was that he had been bitten by a dog on the hand, and it was a very minor wound. Well, it got infected, and motherfucker went down in the middle of a field, like while he was farming, because I needed someone to care for my crops. And then he goes down, and my other people are in the bed. And when they're finally better to get up out of like the sick bay,
No one has been taking care of the crops.
well, also, my man's over there in the field dying from an infection that he got from like a single puncture wound.
Did he die?
Yeah, he died like
I
hell.
thought you were gonna be like he fell down the field and then he amputated his own arm, and
I would have loved to have done that, but it didn't matter.
you probably would have put him right back to work.
No, I would have. I wanted to put him in there and amputate his arm because you can do that.
So then you had a crew of people that most had just recovered, and now if they get hurt again, there's no doctor.
There's no doctor. That game did not go well after that because there was a
Send
drought.
a doctor out to tend to the crowd.
There was a drought which ruined my solar power. Should have gone with turbines. And then there was a wildfire.
So many lessons learned.
Yeah.
Is this like an Oregon Trail type of?
No, nothing
Okay.
like it.
Sounds like a
lot of people
snazzy
compare it to like Dwarf Fortress, which I have no parallel
Dwarfus.
for. But some people will know what that means. Just in that there's so much granular detail in the game.
Let me
Dwarf
ask you
Fortress does
this.
have a lot of that.
It's Dwarf Fortress is basically like learning calculus. It's
Knowing the
fucking-
games that I've played, the books I've read, the movies I've watched, how would you explain to me this game?
I feel like I've done
Is
an
it
okay job so
possible?
far.
You press buttons and stuff happens.
I know what The Sims is.
Yeah. I mean, you don't directly control any of your people outside of combat.
Okay.
You basically set jobs and set everyone's roles, more or less. You can kind of set their priorities for things.
So you're like, Sam, you go.
Sam,
the crops.
you're really good at farming and cooking, so I'm going to set those as high priorities for you. So any job that pops up that I set that I'm like, oh shit, we need to make more of this,
I see.
he's probably going to prioritize
That does seem very
throughout his day.
sim-like.
Yeah.
All I remember about The Sims is I played the original one, and I could never get out to my ride's car, and I kept missing work. It was infuriating. I got fired.
I'm
so
very
quick.
happy that you don't have to. I didn't even think about this until like 17 hours into the game. I was like, I haven't had to worry about like plumbing or bathrooms or anything like
Yeah,
that.
that's nice.
Yeah, or like cleanliness.
falling
No
in-
one gives a fuck about cleanliness.
Falling in love with someone and starting a family.
That happens,
Oh, never.
but you don't have to like do anything. That just
The
kind of
Sims, at least the original one, it seemed super high maintenance. Like you had to be like
yes.
drinking coffee
It
and
is
staying
not
up all night and playing.
nearly that high maintenance for your people. You pretty much get to focus on like setting goals and stuff. But I definitely had the most heartbreaking story ever, which was that I just had a settlement get two of its people fell in love and got married. And I was like, that's awesome. Like it was just happening before my eyes amidst all the other things.
And then one of them got bit by a dog.
No, they were like socially interacting. What happened was they got attacked by like 7 raiders, which is a fuckload against, I think I had 5 people. And I probably could have taken them out. I just didn't have it. It just went wrong.
So those
And everyone
lovers
died.
were murdered.
Everyone died, and it's like dying is such a slow, like you get shot and you go down and you're bleeding out. And you're bleeding and you're bleeding and you're bleeding.
And the doctor's been dead for days.
And the doctor got shot in the head.
Oh god.
And I was just like, something has to happen. Like something. I'm just like watching
it can't
as,
end like this.
as the raiders go through, burn my crops, burn down my whole building. And the worst part was the 2 people that had just got married died next to each other.
Oh no.
And their contentment levels, they were still really high.
Oh, my
They were still like
God.
really happy as they were dying. I was
I don't
like,
want
oh.
to talk about
So it's
this.
like one of those
again.
moments in the movies where they're dying, but they like take a moment, like look into each other's eyes.
And they're
It's like, we
like,
had a good run.
they're like, it was all worth it.
I quit.
One of them's like, "No, it wasn't. I wish I was alive."
I was gonna keep playing and just like hope that something else would eventually happen, because a lot of events can unfold in that game. Traders will come through, or
Traitors or traitors?
both.
Rude.
New people will like just join up. In this scenario, it wasn't looking good, and then I had like 3 dogs, and they were still alive, and the raiders started murdering them, and I couldn't watch that. I had to quit. Because the dogs were just like, do. I'm a dog. And the raiders were like, beat you with a club. And I was like, no. I can't watch these beautiful puppies just bleed out on the ground in misery,
You're like, this
wondering
is where
where
I
their
draw the
owners
line.
are. It was awful.
Lucky
But,
they weren't John Wick's dogs.
it is still in early access, which I'm amazed by because of how many features it has.
What's it like graphically? And what's the perspective? Is it top down?
Yeah,
or?
it's top down. It's pretty simple. I would say I'm trying to think of a good parallel. It's not cartoony graphics, but they're, it's like 2D.
So kind of Rebuild-esque.
I guess. I haven't played Rebuild.
Great game. You should try it.
No.
But yeah, I played the game quite a bit, and I'm putting it. I kind of forced myself to put it down because I'm excited to pick it up in a few months and see what else they've added. So that's
Does
really
No
cool.
Man's Sky come out tomorrow?
Something like that.
Comes out Tuesday
That
or
was
Wednesday.
like the 8th.
We're pretty close to its release date.
Isn't
I know
today
that.
the 6th? Yeah.
Yep. As of this recording, it's the 6th when it's released. Who knows?
Who knows? Andrew will probably listen to this and throw it away.
I'm really excited to play No Man's Sky, but I'm not going to get to for quite a long time because my PS4 got the blue light of death.
Yeah. And I'm not going to buy a PS4 until, I believe, the 10th of November when I can get a PS 4.5.
And Mike got the PS4 on the divorce, so...
Yeah. Jarrett just plays Super Nintendo all the time.
What have you been playing, Jareth?
D's nuts.
You've been jerking off a lot then.
Like, how many hours are there in a day? 24?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been jerking off like 25
I've never heard
hours.
anyone ask that question before. How many days? How many hours in a day?
How many days in a week?
27?
Like a genuine question. Like they're
Yeah.
taking notes. Like, how many days in a week? 7? Okay. So 7.
They're like, I'm definitely not a robot.
Like you humans do.
You know how you forget like how many suns there are? That we, how many again?
So Jareth, you're just opting out.
I've just been playing WoW.
How's that
Sounds
going?
depressing.
It's going.
Okay.
Legion happens at the end of the month. That's moderately exciting.
Okay. Jeez. Dan, what have you
What
been up to?
What's that one game you played that it was turn-based and you really liked it?
XCOM can't play it.
Yes.
Can't play
XCOM
that
2?
one.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to play it like full on? Because I know you got it and it just barely played. No.
No.
If I
Been
wasn't
out for
You know what? After I have my vacation in September, I'm just going to save up $1 million and buy you $1 million computer.
wanted to play it since it came out.
It's going to be
Still
a
can't.
house-sized computer that you can live inside.
I work with that.
Do you guys want to play IMDb Idiots?
No.
No,
All right.
but we can.
No.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to wrap up now because you guys are just fucking done.
I'm fine with playing it. I just said no because Jared said no.
No.
Okay.
Are there any movies or game, or I guess, yeah, or this might be a thing to ask. Is there any movies or games that any of us are really psyched for that are going to come out relatively soon?
I'll tell you what, I have been excited to see the new, it's on Netflix now. I've been really excited to see the new Voltron series that came out.
Pretty good.
Apparently, it's done by the same people who did Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It's pretty good.
So I'm pretty stoked to check that out.
It's also got Rhys Darby in it, and I like that.
Isn't that the guy from Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah,
show?
he's also in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Werewolves, Not Swearwolves.
Yeah.
When's that coming out?
It's already out.
What?
Yeah, it's already happened.
Wow, they're really
been out for a
spending
while.
a lot of money on the advertising. Because I had no idea.
It's pretty good.
Voltron?
No. Werewolves, not swearwolves.
Oh, that? No, that's
No, that's
Oh,
not
out.
okay. When's that coming out?
I have no idea.
No idea.
All right. Do you guys know they're making a sequel to Hot Fuzz?
No.
I read that
What?
just last night.
That sounds weird.
Mike's going to the phone.
I'm going to check that out.
If it's wrong, my wife lied to me.
Voltron, for those of you who haven't seen it, first episode's like an hour long. After that, it's like normal cartoon show length.
Yeah. It's exactly like Transformers.
It had some trouble hooking me to start, but I liked it after that. Like, it took a little while for me to be in.
What is Voltron about?
Voltron is about a group of humans who discover an alien technology, a group of robotic lions that can be piloted that combine together through the power of friendship into a giant robot man.
Yep.
Is it like Power Rangers, but they don't wear costumes?
Less like Power Rangers because very few people do kung fu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a disappointment.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a knockoff of Transformers just because of the name.
No, the original Voltron's from forever ago.
Like the 70s?
Dan,
The 1800s.
Yes.
in reference to what you said,
Yes.
as of 2013, there was Simon Pegg talked about how he wanted to do a sequel to Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End, but nothing is confirmed at all. So
So
I think my wife read
check
something
your
about
facts.
it. She said she read something about it on Reddit, and I was like, oh, okay.
well, okay. Well, then that's true.
Well, Reddit is a den of lies and
Apparently.
iniquity.
We don't endorse Reddit on this program.
And as of December 12th, 2011, Simon Pegg denies Hot Fuzz 2 rumors.
So you just went back in time. In 2004, it had not even been made. The first one. Coincidence?
Yep.
Yes.
It is.
Anyway,
Dan,
so-
what about you? What are you looking forward to?
Butt stuff, the movie.
There's really nothing. I'm looking forward to getting a PS4 to play games that have already come
Yep.
out or will have already have come out.
There's a lot of games. Like, you asked me what else is good on the PS4, and I couldn't
Lots.
answer because there's so many.
You want me to play The Last of Us? I want
Yes.
to play Everyone's Gone the Rapture. I want to play No Man's Sky.
I realized how probably important it is for you to play Fallout 4. I think you'd probably really enjoy that.
I don't know. I haven't had any desire to play it.
I think you would really like
I
Fallout 4.
watched Jareth play. Was it New Vegas you played?
Yeah.
I watched that and I was just like, it's all right to watch him play it, but
Completely different to play. Trust me, you
Okay.
will really like Fallout 4. Yeah. Jareth, are you looking forward to anything? All right.
besides sleep.
No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm very disconnected from everything right
You gonna
now.
grow your hair back?
I don't know, maybe not.
All right. Well, this podcast petered out.
You said Peter.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. It's been like an hour and 2 minutes. So here's a really disappointing podcast for
was
everyone.
better
It was
than
really
nothing.
good. It was really good in the first 20 minutes, though, guys.
Was
I think we
it?
nailed it. Yeah, I think we nailed it. We were talking about Stranger Things. I think it was really good. Why don't we
Yeah.
just talk about Stranger Things again?
We'll just edit it to where it ends after 15 minutes.
We won't. Andrew won't.
Might.
No, he
Andrew will
won't.
just not put
He's
it
going to listen
out.
to this and be like, guys, this was kind of sad. Okay, well.
Hey guys, this was really sad.
Yeah, he has to say it really energetically. Andrew facts. A couple of Andrew facts for you guys.
He has a mustache.
Apologized that his apartment was really messy.
Which it is not.
It's not.
There is like literally one thing on the floor, and that is a rug.
I think
He
it
did leave a closet door open, and I think that's
No, that was me.
disgusting.
I
you
did
went
that.
into his closet?
Yeah, I had to get the equipment out.
Oh. Just
But-
to be fair, there's only like blankets and towels in there.
Neatly folded.
Neatly folded with lots of stolen toilet paper.
Additionally, I was looking through his laundry closet because I was trying to find the equipment. This dude is fucking ready for the apocalypse. He has a lot of camping gear and like survival gear, kind of in general, like a lot of like bedrolls and like water bottles and like just like
Guns.
harnesses and like stuff like that. Like if he needed to suddenly scale the side of a mountain, I think he's good. So
Real life Rick Grimes over there.
Rick Grimes, bitch.
yeah. So this has been the Flick Freaks podcast.
We're
Kinda.
sorry.
Kind of.
My name's Mike. I am
My
me
name's
and
Dan.
ampersand at twitter.com/me and ampersand.
I'm at damn. Wait, no, I'm at Jones damn. Twitter won't let me have damn Jones, even though the person who got it never posts anything, and they haven't posted in like 6 years.
Did you reach out to them to try to get
Yeah, and
there?
they're like, "You can't have it still," and I was like, "All right." I would just like to say also, I have a book called Propitiation on Amazon.
Yep.
And my second book is in beta reading right now. That's all I'm going to say about that as I look at Jareth and Mike.
Only it was just me.
Because I was never here at all.
Jareth's Twitter handle is @PerpetualWizard.
I wish it was a handle of Jareth, like a handle of vodka.
Well, you could drink me and get drunk, if that's what you're saying.
If you can handle it.
I just noticed that on Andrew's bookshelf, Hot Fuzz is directly next to Hotel Rwanda, which are two very different movies.
Yeah, one's a huge bummer.
I hear the sequel to Hot Fuzz is going to be a mashup of those two movies.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, and sorry. Probably.
Bye.